Anyway, over the past week, this is the last story. Over the past week, the New York Times has run objectively stupid number of stories about lawyer and scumbag Alan Dershowitz, and let's go through a quick review of why he is a scumbag. He was A, on Jeffrey Epstein's flight logs, and B, his first wife. I'm going to say his first wife. So because New York Times, they felt bad. They felt badly for the poor little Alan Dershowitz. And they decided to run like 6 billion stories. 1. On Martha's Vineyard, a frosty summer for Alan Dershowitz. Alan Dershowitz said Martha's Vineyard is shunning him over his political views. NYT Politics on Twitter. Alan Dershowitz is enjoining this. Alan Dershowitz has a new book, The Case Against Impeaching Trump. He wrote it in a month, and it went to press 2 weeks later. Interviews, book reviews, blogs, everything. It's everywhere. This, by any measure, is too many stories about Alan Dershowitz, a bad person whose existence should not be contemplated for more than a few seconds every 6 months or so. Why is the Times so into this guy? I don't know. Now, even Times editor Dean Baquet has admitted to the Dershopocalypse was a bit much. He said, "We are trying to increase our coverage of cranky white guys." He joked, "Seriously, it's a big place, and different desks made their own plans, which should have coordinated and better and done fewer." The rest of the piece contains usual anonymous sniping from Times journalists that we all know and love. Apparently, their truth-based pursuit of the truth and the facts and the history of the truth and all the truth that they do, reporting the truth, it's not enough for them. And they're not really satisfied, so they do, rely on anonymous sniping. And now we have the requisite comments that were also added on top of this anonymous sniping from the legendary Jill Abramson. 6 reporters. That's the only comment this needs of this story. But Baquet's response was the most important in revealing different desks made their own plans. Says quite a lot about the priorities of the Times. What kind of place is this that Alan Dershowitz flows some nonsense complaint about being snubbed by fellow zillionaires, even though he does like to hang out with one by the name of Jeffrey Epstein on his private plane and be accused of having sex with minors and having very shady circumstances about possibly murdering his first wife. I went there, look it up, but possibly, allegedly, I'm putting this all in. There's a lot of shady stuff about his first wife. I'm just saying. Look up Alan Dershowitz's history. I don't have the time to explain it to you here now, but it is very interesting. Yeah, it's very strange that this different desks made their own plans. I mean, what kind of place is that Alan Dershowitz floats some nonsense complaint about being snubbed by these billionaires, or publishes a book whose real purpose is to just get him more publicity, and multiple divisions of the New York Times office spring into action independent of each other? What is it about this man and this story that brings such a loud alarm in the Times office? I'm going to go to the Times offices pretty soon. I mean, maybe they have a Dersh tracker somewhere in there. I'm going to ask them. Don't worry. I'm going to do it for you. I'm going to ask them. I will find out. I will track this down. Okay? So do not worry. Do not worry. We got it. It's okay. All right. That's our show. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been Newsflash.